I'll tell you a little bit about us and what we do while I wait for people to get set up. We're a team of 7 and we're based in Adelaide, and we do marketing for real estate agents, and we help real estate agents build simple marketing and prospecting platforms, and we've seen agents go from 100,000 in fees all the way through to 900,000 in fees in about 4 years. And we've also seen agencies go from 2 million in fees right the way through to 8 million in fees in about 3 years. And some of the stuff that I'm going to show you today is stuff that they already do. And you might already be using email marketing, so you might just be on this webinar today to tweak your email marketing, or you might decide that you need someone like us to manage your email marketing. Good morning, Anthony. I can see that you've logged in too. Now, email marketing is a really good tool. It's got a return of investment of over 4,000% according to the Direct Marketing Association. So the costs on email marketing are really low. You've got no postage, there's no printing costs, which can get really expensive. So the return on investment is usually pretty good. And one of the things that we see as marketers is there's not many agents out there who use it really well. So there's a really big gap in the marketplace right now to be really good at email marketing and stand out in your marketplace and hopefully get more leads and list more homes and ultimately make more money. So let's get started. Now remember, any time if you do have a question about anything that I'm saying, please just write it in the chat box and I'll do my best to answer you as quickly as I can. So you've probably already heard that 5 to 10% of people sell their home each year. So that means if you've got a database of around about 1,000 homes, you'd be looking at between 50 to 100 sellers a year. What we see on databases is that it sits closer to that 10%, and that's usually because there's a lot more active buyers and sellers, and with some people we're seeing it sit closer to up to 12%. And that's just because they've got really good databases that they've been working for a number of years. So, as I mentioned before, 5% is 50 sellers a year of, say, like 1,000. So if you had 1,000 people selling a year, that would be 50 sellers, 10% would be 100 sellers. And if you had an average fee of around about $10,000, that's somewhere in the park of $500,000 to $1 million in fees. You're obviously not going to get all of that, but if you're marketers who are already inside your database, you've got a much better chance of maintaining that relationship and building it. So really, as marketers, we help real estate agents focus on their reach. And reach is all about contacting more people with the tools that you've already got. Morning, Michael. I just saw you logging in too. So we're looking at contacting more people with the tools that you've already got. So agents really need to be collecting the email addresses from all of their market appraisals and from all the buyers that they open for inspections, as well as all their phone and email inquiries. And I'm sure as agents you'll be getting all of these, and it's often hard to keep on top of that, but the more you can collect, the greater your reach will be. And you've probably already heard some of these statistics before, so I'll just quickly run through them. It takes usually 9 to 15 points of contact for sellers to know you, like you, and trust you enough to sell their home. So the goal of email marketing is to help to get you to that 9 to 15 points of contact in a non-obtrusive way in less time. So for example, if you could do a market appraisal, and each month after you've done that market appraisal, that seller received an email from you with a list of all their recent sales. That was either a list of all the sales that the company completed or that were in the area. It would mean that every single month that seller will get an email from you before you'd even have to pick up the phone. So it makes it really easy for them, for example, just to reply to that email and contact you and call you in when they're thinking of selling. Now, we looked at an agency that we do a lot of work with, and we looked at their last 1,000 sales. And one thing we discovered is that it took 7 months on average for properties to come to market. So we call it days to market. And so that 7 months was from the day they met someone at an open auction, put them on a database, that person had their property appraised, and then they listed it for sale. On average, that took 7 months. There's definitely cases where it took less time, there's definitely cases where it took more time, but the average seemed to sit at 7 months. So what's really happening in those 7 months prior to the people that you meet are looking for inspections? And what marketing are we doing? So we're going to start by looking at the anatomy of a good email. And remember, if you've got any questions at any point about what I'm saying, please feel free to type them into this chat box at the bottom. So if you're already doing email marketing, you might just want to tweak your emails a little bit here. If you're not doing email marketing, this is probably the page that you need to be paying a lot of attention to. So emails should always feature the seller's name, and you can see here at the top it's got the person's name. They should always have their name and the phone number of the agent who's sending that email. So the person who's dealing with that contact should have their name and number in there, and the information that's inside there should be relevant. So for example, this is an email here with a list of recent sales. That's okay to send that to a past market appraisal, but you wouldn't send it to a past client because they've just bought a home, they're not really that interested in recent sales. The email needs to be sent from the agent's email address. A lot of companies we see do email marketing, they make this mistake of sending it from a generic company address like No Reviews or client care. It really should be from the agent's email address because it makes it really easy for people to reply, and people will reply if they feel like they're dealing with a person. They won't reply when they feel like they're dealing with a company. And finally, frequency. You need to make sure you're sending it enough, but not too much. You don't want too many people unsubscribing, but you don't want to be missing out on opportunities. So let's take a quick look at frequency. So we do a lot of email marketing for agents, and this is the frequency which we've see working. So buyers, it seems okay to be contacting buyers weekly. They're a lot more active in the marketplace. Market appraisers, definitely okay to be contacting them monthly. And your past clients, we think it's okay to be contacting them monthly. However, we're seeing with agents, it seems to be a little bit split here. Half of them seem to be happy contacting them monthly, the other half would like to contact them quarterly. So it's really split. We're seeing both of these work, but that's the frequency. So let's take a bit of a look at some of the types of emails that you might be sending and who they're really appropriate to be sending them to. So if we, for example, look at the monthly, this email here, this features a list of all the sales that sold in the last month. It might be all the properties that the company sold, or it might be all the properties that were sold in a particular geographical location. And this seems to be our fastest selling email at the moment. So agents are signing up this one quicker than any other email. It's appropriate to send this to buyers and past market appraisals. So it gives the buyers real-time sale prices, but it also gives the past market appraisals social proof of your ability to sell homes. And I mentioned earlier, if you do an appraisal and that person goes into the database, and then every month this email is sent to them, it just means that they're getting relevant information at a frequency that's okay each and every single month after you've done an appraisal. So over the course of 12 months, you'll find that someone's going to receive an email, 12 emails from you. If you make a couple of phone calls, you're already at that 14 points of contact without having to do a whole lot of work. The next email here that is popular with people is an embedded video, and this features a short message at the top and then a link to a video which they can play, and it's usually hosted on their website, which drives traffic back to their website, which is a really good thing to do. And the video features information about what's happening in their marketplace on a real estate level. Now, one thing we've found is people, they scroll, they swipe, and they scan emails. They don't really read long, chunky emails. So this is why this type of email marketing really cuts through, because people can just click on it, they can play it on their phone, they can watch the video. If it's a a video of you talking to them about what's happening in real estate level. They're seeing you every single month, your face, your voice, every month. So it really helps build that relationship and for them to feel comfortable with you. And we're finding this one's appropriate to send to every single person on the database. And we currently do videos for people who are in South Australia, and we have a product coming out in the next couple of months to help agents around Australia do video work. But we also have agents around Australia who have their own videographer. The videographer sends the video through to us, and then we create the email and upload it to a landing page and send it out on their behalf. So there's definitely ways we can help you out. Now the next one here is a monthly newsletter. This example here that I'm showing you is sent to an entire sales and rental database. So all the new business managers over in property management, after they do a rental appraisal every single month until that person becomes a landlord, they get an email from them. Same with the sales database. All the buyers get this as well. All the past clients get it. It features a short message at the top. It comes from the agent that they're dealing with, so it really helps build that rapport and that relationship. It features a feature sale, a feature rental. It's got statistics and medium sale prices on the areas that they work. They work 3 main suburbs, so it's really easy for them to put the statistics in one place. There's a link to a realestate.com.au article, which is referencing the 2014 review in the marketplace. And there's information about the charity work that they do. And there's a small promotion at the bottom. Most of the stuff that we talk about, we have this rule of 80-20. 80% of the email you send out, the content inside of it should, 80% of it should be providing value. So it's really a value exchange, your valuable real estate information for your sellers or your landlord's valued time, and the other 20% should be self-promotion. If you get that right, you seem to find it's okay. Now, because this email is sent every month to everyone in the database, it means that every single month they're getting a relevant piece of information sent to them, and it's really easy for them to stay in contact with everyone. And so, you know, every year, for example, if they're only calling the person twice a year, they're going to be getting 14 points of contact without having to do a whole lot of work, because it's really just automated for them. This next one here that I'm showing you is for a property guide. So we actually make a hard copy of this property magazine each week. This one here comes with a flash book, so all the property magazines that we do come with a flash book that they can email out to the database. Now they use this as a lead capture tool, so at their open for inspections, they give it to buyers and say, hey, you know, can I email this to you every week? And they go, yeah, sure. They grab the email address, put it in the database, and they also use it as a listing tool because it's given out to every single buyer at every single open for inspection. So this means that it's not just the buyers who come to their home that see their home, it's all the buyers at every single open for inspection. So by signing up with them, their property's got more reach and more access to more buyers. So that's how they use their property guide to get more people opting into the database, and also as a listing tool. Now again, if you've got any questions, there is that chat box down here. I'm covering a lot of information. Feel free to write any questions in there. I'll answer them as they come in. So we send weekly emails to buyers. So this email here is a list of all of their new listings for that week. Once a week we go to their website and we pull all of their new listings off it, we put it into an email. They've also got a property magazine at the top, which is emailed to all their buyers. And we then export all of their buyers out of their database, proof the email with the marketing person inside their company, and then send that email once a week on a Friday. So what this means is that their buyer alerts are now automated, and they don't really have to do a whole lot to it, and it's really easy for agents to deliver on that promise of, I get your email address and I'll send you new listings. Now this email here is also appropriate to send to buyers, and it's sent weekly to buyers, usually on a Monday. It features auction results for that state, and It also features statistics around, sorry, not statistics, it features their recent sales for that week as well. So it really platforms them as the expert because they're providing that content at the top around auction results. That information comes from a couple of online sources. We build it, put it into an email, create it, put their recent sales in there, proof it with them, and then send it to all their buyers. It's a really simple process. So earlier on, I mentioned that it takes 7 months on average from the company that we did the research with for people to go and attend an open for inspection, have their property appraised, and then sign up to list their property for sale. So 7 months. So what that means in the space of 7 months is if you're sending a weekly email to buyers, they're going to get 28 points of contact from the agent that they're dealing with. If they're a past market appraisal, they're going to get 7 points of contact from the agent that they're dealing with, or a past client, 7 points of contact. So it really starts to automate the email marketing and really starts to automate your points of contact with people. So just quickly, I want you to have a quick think about it. How many people do you have on your database? And this is a really interesting question because a lot of people can't answer this. So when you finish on this call, maybe make a quick note and just write down there find out how many people you've got in your database, how many people you've got with emails, because you find 10% of these people are probably going to sell in the next year. So that's a really important statistic for you to know and for you to try and grow and build and to get as many sellers' emails on your database. That way you've got a much greater reach. A lot of people ask the question to me, how does it all work if they work with us? First of all, people usually just place an order with us and they can do that online, and then once we've received their order, we do a discovery call where we call them, we talk about the types of emails that they're looking to create, and then we design concepts and we proof it. We provide them a couple of different concepts. They can proof it, provide feedback, and then when they're happy with it, they approve it. And then we work out a bit of a workflow. So what do we need from you each week? Or what access do we need you to give us? If we're accessing your database, we'll probably sign a confidentiality agreement to protect you. And then how do we make this happen each week, and what are the deadlines? And then we just go ahead and deliver on that each week. So it's a pretty simple process once it's up and running. It takes a little bit of time to get started, but once it's started, it's fairly automated. We use a couple of different types of email marketing software. The one that we use is mostly Vision 6. And this is usually around $29 a month for someone with up to 2,500 contacts. That's what they charge you to access their software. If you had a large database, say up to between 5,000 and 10,000 contacts, you're looking at $89 a month. I don't think you've got anyone over that $89 a month mark. So it's a really affordable piece of software to use. We also use iRealty, and the reason why we use iRealty is we've got a lot of customers who already have iRealty and they're already doing some form of email marketing, but they're just struggling to get that consistency out there. We just signed up someone the other day who has a team of 30 agents, and we make an email newsletter for each agent once a month and then send it onto their database. They give us access to their database, so we log in and download their contacts, upload them to iRealty, create the email, proof it with the agent, and send it. So it's a really simple workflow and simple process. If you do want to get started with email marketing, we've got a few links below the video that you're watching right now, below the webinar. If you want to, some agents like to buy an email once off and just test it, and for that we charge $245 plus GST. Probably 99% of people sign up to have an email sent for them over a 12-month period. And so we charge $125 for each email that we send. And there's a button below the video to buy either once off, or to buy a monthly email, or also to buy a weekly email. If you click on any of those buttons, except for the once off button, so any of the subscription buttons, it'll take you to a form that looks like this, and you'll see there's a promo code at the bottom here. And if you enter the promo code in, which is email, so it's a really simple promo code, we're going to have this active probably for the next 7 to 14 days. You'll receive $10 off each email. So that means that instead of paying $125 for an email, you end up paying $115. So over a weekly email, you save $120. Over a month, for a monthly email, you save $120 a year, which means you end up getting one of the emails for free. Or over a weekly email, you save $520 a year. So it really is worthwhile signing up if that's something that you're interested in. And the promo code that you need to enter is just email. Now, just to wrap up, your focus really needs to be on how to capture people, on capturing people. We've covered a few strategies here today of how some of the agents that we work with capture people. You need to make sure the frequency is right. So you're hitting people at the right time. We've covered frequency a little bit, and the information that you're sending is relevant to their needs. And the big thing where we see a lot of agents fall down is consistency. You need to make sure you've got consistency. And if you don't have that sort of level of support inside your office, we'd be more than happy to help out. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. All of my contact details in the emails were sent out, or please feel free to email me back. This webinar that we've just created now, we've been recording this, so we'll email this out to you later on today, so you'll have a video to watch and to recap on.